Hi guys. I wanted to do another live today. You'll probably be getting a lot more of these from me, by the way, because I enjoy doing them. I like talking with you guys live. Sometimes it's easier than just typing it out, but it also gives you a chance to know me. We can have some more interaction with things like that. So let me mute that so I can get to this. Because Mindy, you asked, you're in a toughie. You're in a really tough situation there. It is not one that has to be permanent. It is one you can get through. It is, I mean, as you state, your anxiety and stress are rising every day, but that paralysis is getting in there, really making you paralyzed. That's a red flag. That's a signal that you're in a relationship that isn't safe for you, right? When we are in relationships that are healthy, these things do not happen. They are not part of that dynamic. They simply don't happen because people don't behave these ways. So the experience of where you're at with day 4 of the icy silent treatment, he's going to be this way because he wants to get you to change his behavior. Alicia, you just joined. I'm going to answer your question you put on the poll, so stick around. That's coming. In fact, your question prompted the video, and then Mindy's post was like, more video. So here you guys. But I want to address Mindy's first here, and then we'll get to your question, Alicia. Okay, so the fact that you feel better when he's gone tells you what's going on. It tells you this isn't healthy for you. Trust that. Trust this awareness that's expanding in you right now that this isn't normal. This isn't healthy. This isn't good for me. Trust that. Be with that. Okay? Honor that because that's very real. That's your intuition, your brilliance coming through going, hey, yeah, this is a problem. This is an issue. Wakey, wakey. That kind of thing. Now, you are in a pretty serious situation. We don't know what he's going to do. So what you need to do is start to create a plan. Okay. First thing you want to do is start to regulate your anxiety. And a very effective way to do that is doing two things. Number one, you can do what's called regulation, which is a palm stroking technique, or this technique, very lightly, very gently. It's going to help you regulate your anxiety, help you come back to your body. Okay. And then yawning. Yawning will help you regulate down and get into, oh man, sorry. Woo. I guess I needed to regulate there a little too. But it actually tells your limbic system to shut down, your amygdala, that it's safe, and then you can relax for a moment. Now, because you're in a dynamic that creates hypervigilance, that's going to bump right back up fairly quickly. So this is not a means to eliminating anxiety while being in a toxic situation. It's not how this works. It is a means to regulating anxiety temporarily so you can begin to plan. Okay. Some things you need to understand here. What I'd like you to do is go to hotline.org, and thehotline.org. We'll post that link here in the comments and in the video, and examine their material. Understand what's available to you locally, okay? And then you need to look at your finances, figure out what that looks like, and then begin to examine your friendship network and see whom you can lean on, okay? Because this is not going to be an easy experience if you choose to leave. Now, you also asked a question here, if I change my behavior, can this be fixed? What is my part in it all? That is a codependent question. If I change my behavior, can this be fixed? That is not how healthy relationships work. Healthy relationships do not require thank you, Connie, for both tagging her, hi, Kelly, and for the link to hotline.org. Healthy relationships do not require another person to change their behavior in order to regulate the feelings of the other person. Healthy relationships say, hey, we've got some friction. We've got a conflict going here. Let's talk about it. Let's understand what we need. And let's work that out. Okay? Because in healthy relationships, the premise, the foundation, the value, the focus point that the person's coming from, that both people come from is I care about how you feel. Okay? Very, very important. In narcissistic relationships, they come from a different premise. The narcissist is, what can you do for me? They treat you like a utility. Have you ever noticed that? That when they're done getting what they wanted from you, they're done dealing with you. They're happy when they get the attention, the sex, the money, whatever it might be. And then beyond that, they don't care if you exist unless they need something from you. They're not asking how you feel. They're not making you a priority. They're not showing up when you need or ask or want something, right? That's a utility-based relationship, or what I also call object-oriented, which means you are being treated as an object. So what you want to be very, very mindful about here is that your behavior isn't the cause. So because it's not the cause, it can't be the solution. And here's why your behavior is not the cause. Because your behavior is normal. You have a boundary. You have a want, a need, a difference. His behavior is to punish you for having that so that you'll give it up. And then he can take what he wants from you and use you as he chooses. This is how they think. This is the function of their brain. Regardless of their trauma, regardless of their past, this is where they're coming from. You can't fix that. That is something only they can address, and it's only something they can realize. You can't make them realize that. You can't save them. It's not your job. You are, one, are not their parent. Two, you're not in their head. And there's a really simple premise or reason why we can't change other people, and I call this the gatekeeper premise. The gatekeeper is exactly what it sounds like. It's a thing that says yes or no to information and influence. Okay? Codependents took their gatekeeper and stuck them on the wall and said, shut up, I don't want to hear about it. And then you just absorb everything. Well, your gatekeeper's like, hey, yeah, you don't want to do that. Don't do that. No, not that either. But you're like, just put tape over the mouth. Shut up. The narcissist installed an entire army with nuclear weapons as their gatekeeper. And they just shoot everything down coming at them unless it passes one criteria. Does it make me feel better? Does it aggrandize my sense of self? Does it help regulate me and my need to feel valuable and important, or whatever it might be? Anything that fits that premise gets through. Anything that doesn't get shot down, and then the missiles get armed and said, hey, you bring more of that crap over here, I'm going to nuke you. Okay? This is why you can't do anything. They don't want influence. They're not open to influence. So it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what you don't do, because it will not change them. They want you to change so they can get what they want. I know that this can be difficult to hear, and it is challenging to hear. And I don't say that lightly. I went through this myself. My parents are this way. And it took a long time to accept it, and it cost me a lot. But the freedom you gain by going through the hell to escape it is you get yourself back. You get your peace of mind back, and then you can begin to create a life you want to live based on your brilliance, based on your innate ability to draw into your life the things that matter to you. This is why the group is called Thriving Beyond Codependency. It's why I reference brilliance. It's not, people are like, that's a great marketing ploy. I'm like, meh. It's really what we're doing. We're trying to step out there and go, ooh, I can create these things. I can have the loving, reciprocal, kind relationship. Thank you, Elizabeth. So are you. You can be happy again. You can have yourself back and never have to give yourself up again. Okay? One of my students in the Being You Brilliantly mentorship just experienced for the first time in her life. She's 55 years old. She's like, I got a guy who really likes me. All these quirks that the narcissist had attacked and shamed, he likes, he enjoys it. It's mind-blowing. Yeah, when we get in contact back with our value, we get solutions to our problems. We get relationships that amplify our greatness, our goodness, our brilliance, and theirs. And we get to have fun. Okay? So, but where you're at is it's a challenge. And I know it's hard to admit it. It's hard to break down the denial and go, yeah, I'm in the middle of hell right now. And that's okay. That's what the support group is. That's what we're here for. We're here. We got your back. But you need to make a plan, and you need to start looking at your legal options and deciding what you need to do for you. Now you ask another question. What is my part in it all? Your part in it is enabling, meaning you regulate his feelings, you make him feel better, you give yourself up for him, you sacrifice you maintain the cycle so you don't have to deal with your own emptiness, your anxiety, your fear, the uncertainty of the future. That's the role we're playing in this, is that we are putting ourselves constantly in the fire in order to get them to stop attacking us. That's where we're coming from. And I don't want that to come across the way that, like, you are not being blamed for what he does. That is not what's happening at all here. He is 100% responsible and accountable for his behavior. We don't create their behavior. Their behavior is self-generated. It's a product of their psychology, just like yours is. So if we come from that premise of ownership, it's like, okay, I know what I'm contributing to this that puts me in this situation now. I keep saying yes to things that hurt me and no to things that would bring me joy. That's what's going on. That's how we contribute to this dynamic. So when we take our power back from that and we release the shame and integrate love and discover who we are, which is called the heal process, then we know what to do, okay? Because we're getting back in contact with our value, back in contact with our brilliance, then we can take action and we can create results. So if you want assistance in this, okay? Because I know you're in a dynamic here and money is a big issue with these things. Join the membership, the Codependency Confidence membership. You can start the heal process. That'll help you get some guidance there. Then you can also get into the live Q&As I have on Tuesdays with that. I can assist you and also get you other tools to it. Well, ultimately, none of this is your fault. His behavior is his choice. You do not earn abuse. Nobody earns abuse. Nobody earns this kind of treatment. So you do not need to worry about you being responsible for the way he behaves. Okay? All right. So I'm glad you shared here. It's hard to leave. It's going to feel sickening. That's part of your programming kicking in, saying, ooh, we're being selfish and bad. Actually, you're being very loving and kind, both to yourself and to your children. It's daunting. You're not alone. We've got your back, okay? So keep reaching out. Be here. Share with us your journey. We're your cheerleaders. You got to do the difficult action, but we got your back. Okay. All right. So now we're going to get on to another question. Now we're going down. Yes. Oh, there. I do talk to myself. In fact, when I was in IT, because I did that for 20 years, one of my clients is like, you talk to the machines. I'm like, yeah. And then they start doing their job. So, all right. So Alicia asks a very important question. Thank you for this question. How do I trust anyone again? Maybe let's see if I can draw this out here to kind of demonstrate what is going on here. Okay. You're gonna get some martial art today. You guys getting lots of martial art. Got martial art in last week and in brilliant and being money brilliantly. Let's see. Oh, and even in live Q&A for the membership. All right. No trust. And then we come over here. Okay. So trauma does something really fun to our brain, guys. Trauma tells our brain to regard the entire world as one way. I call that black and white thinking, or all or nothing thinking. And it's not a bad thing. It's an understandable result for trauma, especially in early childhood, because children's brains don't have the ability to differentiate circumstance from person. So the brain's like, that person's untrustworthy. All people are untrustworthy. That kind of thing. Whereas an adult brain, or a brain that isn't traumatized, which is even a better way to put it, can go, well, that person is not trustworthy, but that one is, because what it does is it looks at context. Okay? So when we deal with restoring trust again, we're dealing with context. Okay? So I want to show you a little context. Let me finish my words. Oh, my words, yes. Okay. Martial art. TM. Okay. So black and white thinking says all things are one thing. Like all of these are no. This is everybody in existence. No. Contextual thinking says, oh, this person isn't trustworthy. This person is, and this person is. Okay? Now, trick about trust. How many of you guys were taught that trust is something you just should give someone? Like, trust everybody. Everybody deserves to be trusted. Just give your trust away. How many of you guys were taught that? I mean, you can heart it or say yes in the comments, whatever you want. That's how we were conditioned. We were conditioned to just trust people. Trust is earned. Okay? So this is how it works. When we meet somebody, we don't distrust them. We don't distrust them. What we do is we give them opportunity. We give them a measure of trust. What it is let's get to know them and let's get to observe how they behave. Okay? And then as we move through it with them, we get more experience with them, we start to see a pattern of behavior. And that pattern of behavior is going to either add to the trust or take away from the trust. And we can influence that by giving them little marbles of vulnerability and seeing what they do with those marbles. And now if they respect the marble, they get this is Brene Brown's model with marbles, where you put the marble in the jar, you got a little more trust. Here we go. Okay. But if they disrespect our trust, they get trust taken out. We don't trust them there anymore because their behavior proves that they're trustworthy or not trustworthy. Okay. Oh, hi, Virginia. Hi, Alicia. This is how we earn trust. This is why it's contextual, because we're dealing with the experience we have with that person. Okay. Now, because of the way narcissists tend to gaslight people and convince them that they are a certain way, it can make trusting in general a very scary thing. You're like, well, I don't know if I can trust this dude. He's doing everything I think he should be doing. He's been nice to me. He's been love bombing. Oh, he's love bombing me. So you get this grandiose, oh my God, you're the best thing ever. I've been looking for you all my life. You complete me. Yeah, you got a problem. Red flag. Do not trust that. Number two, when we say no, when we have a consistent boundary, and they keep pushing it, that's a red flag, not someone you can trust. People who value who you are, just as a human being, will respect your no. They will honor the vulnerability you give them. They'll recognize it and they'll say, I really appreciate how open you are, how willing you've been to just let me see you. They're not going to make massive requests of you, especially early on. They're not going to ask money or sex. They're not going to ask for commitment. They're going to want to get to understand who you are. Okay? So we develop trust by saying no. We develop trust by saying yes, but in very specific observations about what they do with those things we ask for, the things we share, how they respond to our yeses and our nos. So it's developed in context. Okay? You can root out narcs. It just requires us to slow down and get in tune with us first. When we know our real value, then we're able to occupy our space, our territory. Okay. And then we're able to know whether something fits with us or not. We're no longer going, well, are they right about that? Do I really? No. We're like, I don't like that. That doesn't fit me. No, I know what my value is. I'm not that behavior. I'm done. I'm outie. Have a great day. No, hashtag outie. So it's just not going to, we don't tolerate it because our value is really prominent. It is the deciding factor for whom we let in our lives and for who we don't let in our lives. And that's one of the biggest things we have to get used to, guys, is empowering our no. Okay. Our happiness is on the other side of no. It's not on the other side of yes. Life for us is backwards. So no leads to our happiness. Saying no to things we don't want, more happiness. Why? Because then we have more space to receive what we really desire. Okay. And this is what I get into in the Being You Brilliantly mentorship, and later on in the Thrive strategy components of the membership. So if you're really rooted, you want to make these changes for you. You want to discover your happiness, get that value really loud in your head so you can hear your own voice. Hear your own voice. Make your own choices. Live from your own brilliance and receive what you really want. Then join the mentorship, because that's where we get really, really deep on this. But right now, you can repair your relationship to trust by becoming powerful in knowing who to trust, who to invest in, based on their behavior. Because nobody's entitled to your trust. Trust is a gift. It is a privilege. Okay? As well, guys, your empathy, your time, your heart. We care a lot. We carry a burden. We are highly empathic. We feel a lot, and that is a privilege. Now, our job is to regulate that and to get ourselves a little more autonomous from other people so that we're free to be us. But when we love, when we care, when we invest, it's very sincere. We need to make sure that we are putting that with people that deserve it. And they deserve it because they've demonstrated how much they value it. Okay? All right. So that's my response to those two situations and questions. I appreciate you guys being a part of the group. Thank you for posting these things. Thank you for sharing your lives with me and with us. And if you want more information on joining Being You Brilliantly, it closes this Sunday. We start Monday. Just go to bu.freetheself.com. Or if you want to join the membership and start your own self-guided healing, go to membership.freetheself.com. If you have any questions, just reach out to me either in group or privately. I'd be glad to talk with you about those things. But otherwise, guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for being the badasses, the courageous warriors you are. And remember that you really are worth knowing, worth loving, and worth keeping. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.